Now, the time has passed and the dust has started to settle, so let's have a recap. Everton are docked 10 points because they've been adjudged to have failed the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules for the 2019-20, 2021 and 21-22 financial years. We already know all clubs cannot exceed 105 million over a 3-year rolling period, and Everton were 19.5 million over the allowed amount. To add to this, we've also got to consider their actual full losses, which were over 300 million. Now, under the rules, they're allowed to deduct from a thing called what's good spending, which is basically infrastructure, women's football, children's football, and community football. However, after that deduction, Everton was still nearly 20 million over where they're supposed to be. They'd broken the rules and been caught. They deserve their points deduction. Personally, I think their complaint and appeal is due to them believing that their penalty would be under 8 points, maybe even closer to 6. However, looking at the Blues, even with a 10-point deduction, I can't see them getting relegated. In fact, barring a disaster, I think they'll comfortably finish mid-table. So, why do we need profit and sustainability rules? Or, in old money, financial fair play rules? Since 1983, 71 clubs have gone to some form of administration. Now, most of these clubs have fought back to fight another day. 3 of these clubs are even in the Premier League. However, there are a couple of clubs that are demised and are never to be seen again. Chester SC, Darlington, Rushden and Diamonds. Also, Bury FC were expelled from the Football League in 2019 amid rising debts. So there you have it. Profit and sustainability rules are there to save football clubs from themselves. Now, let's look at the wealthy clubs who think these rules shouldn't apply to them. At the moment, Chelsea have not been charged yet, so we'll solely focus on Manchester City. Now, City's allegations cover a wide range of Premier League rules, which include accuracy of their financial reporting, disclosure of manager and player remuneration, compliance with UEFA regulations, adherence to profitability and sustainability guidelines, and not assisting in investigation. The last one, City have basically said, we do not recognise your authority, so we're not going to comply. The basic pattern for these types of cases seems to run this way. The punishment and or banning, or, like in Everton's case, the points deduction is handed out, then the guilty club appeals, and there's usually some form of deduction on the initial points punishment, which is usually handed out as the final outcome. For example, let's not reinvent the wheel and look at the 1980 and 2005 Italian football betting scandals, the Toto Nero and the Calciopoli. In 1980, the Toto Nero consisted of 20 players that were handed multiple year suspensions. In addition, 7 clubs who were AC Milan, who were relegated to the Serie B, Lazio, who were relegated to the Serie B and got a 10 million lira fine plus a 5-point league deduction, Bologna, Avellino and Perugia, all receiving a 5-point deduction for the 1980-81 Serie A season, as well as Palermo and Taranto, who both received a 5-point deduction for the 1980-81 Serie B season. The 2005-2006 Calciopoli, meaning match-fixing scandal, is probably to this point the biggest scandal in football history. During the early 2000s, Juventus and AC Milan were locked in a fierce rivalry for the Serie A title. It was found that referees made favourable decisions for several clubs. The clubs involved were Juventus, AC Milan, Lazio and Fiorentina, all from the Serie A. Also involved were Reggiana from the Serie B. They all received hefty fines, bans, relegations and points deductions, the strongest of which went to Juventus, who received a €75,000 fine and were relegated to the 2006-2007 Serie B. They had an initial 30-point deduction in the Serie B. This was reduced to 9 points. They were stripped of the 2004-2005 Serie A title, and this title was left unassigned. And then they were downgraded to the last place in the 2005-2006 Serie A title, but this title was awarded to runners-up Inter Milan. There's also been the 2011-2012 Scomasapoli scandal, where fines and points deductions were handed out to 15 clubs in the Serie A and the Serie B, followed by the most recent 2022-2023 Plus Valenza scandal, where our old friend and serial rule breakers Juventus have copped for another 15-point deduction. Now, some may say this is different from Manchester City's financial fair play and sustainability issues, but is it really? After all, the ball is still round. The pitch is the same size, and cheating is cheating. In the case of the Italian leagues, it was found that Italian clubs, and more so Juventus, had greatly profited from biased refereeing decisions. It's alleged that City have profited to a far more egregious degree by their imaginative and fraudulent accounting. If you're still not having it and believe the two are not the same, then how about the 2012 relegation of Glasgow Rangers? Rangers, after years of financial mismanagement and losses, entered into administration and were subsequently or initially docked 10 points. This ended their Scottish Premiership challenge. However, that was the least of their worries, as the points deduction was closely followed by relegation to the Scottish Third Division, only returning to the SPL 4 years later in 2015-2016 season. Imagine a truly huge club being relegated to Scotland's lowest league. May I add, although they took their punishment in a way that can't be referenced as classically, but definitely in a manner and with humility and with respect to Scottish football as a whole. So, for those saying they shouldn't lose any of the titles that they've picked up in the last 10-12 years, a precedent has been set in Europe on numerous occasions. If you're found to have cheated, you shouldn't get to keep the spoils like a badge of honour, because a half-truth is a whole lie. Tell you what, let's just turn a blind eye. Let's give Ben Johnson back his 1988 Seoul Olympics gold medal in the 100 metres. Or should we give Marion Jones back her 3 gold medals and 2 bronzes from the 2000 Sydney Olympics? Or better still, let's give Lance Armstrong his 7 Tour de France winners' medals. All drug cheats, but this is a different type of doping, the financial type to gain an unfair advantage. Just like with the disgraced athletes, didn't they know? The rules are there. Manchester City are in with these previously mentioned world-class cheats. There's a big white and sky blue elephant in the room.
What they told me before the defend accusation from UEFA, the club proved that we're completely innocent. Why should not think right now, when there is not even accusation, it's just condemned, it's just charges or suggestions. So you have to understand that between 90 teams of the Premier League is accusing us without letting us the opportunity to defend. And the word of my club, my owner, my chairman, my CEO, my people explain everything during these 3 or 4 years. You know exactly on what side I am. And just in case we are not innocent, we will accept what the judge, the Premier League decide. But what happened if in the same situation that UEFA happened, we are innocent? What happened to restore or pay back our damage?
Okay then, so surely cooperating and producing this irrefutable evidence you say you have would stop this damage to your reputation. Now the decision and the control around this is entirely up to them. But is Guardiola telling little untruths here? As you see, it's my opinion that there's no longer any value in wheeling Guardiola out regarding this subject. It's obvious. The so-called great one is complicit. City were not found innocent, they were found guilty, but escaped a 2-year European ban through a technicality. It's funny how this irrefutable evidence thing works. This next supporter tries to gaslight everybody with reasoning that he's a solicitor, so he should know.
Sticking with CAS, City won that case due to 2 main factors. UEFA failed to prove its case sufficiently on some points, and for the remaining points, they were time barred, so City didn't have to challenge them. A lot's been made of the idea that the Premier League has no time bar in relation to its rules, but it's safe to say that there must be a limitation period of sorts, and if that's the case, the Limitation Act 1980, a standard principle under English law, is that offences committed more than 6 years ago can't comprise civil litigation. What the Premier League must be relying on then is one of the exceptions to the Limitation Act, which is that this 6-year period isn't relevant when a party has deliberately deceived another party and has attempted to conceal information. As we know, the Premier League is alleging City has concealed this information by deliberately manipulating its filings. So time barring is another obstacle the Premier League will need to overcome. But based on the severity of even 1 year of accounts being false, I don't really see that being too relevant in this case. It's really important to note that this case is going to drag on and on and on for months, probably years. It's going to be incredibly hard and complicated to prove that 9 years worth of accounts are false. It's an enormous undertaking, and it's why so many legal experts are shocked that the Premier League has made these claims. And this is where I think it's important to address the political elephant in the room. The UAE is one of the UK's biggest trading partners. Just a few weeks ago, an agreement was reached between the UAE and UK government whereby the UAE would invest £10 billion into the UK's economy. So obviously, from a UK government perspective, there's a desire to keep relations with the UAE very friendly and cordial.
So, Mr. Solicitor, I'm no legal professional, but I'm going to disagree with you and inform you that the Premier League rules do not include a time bar. So when Manchester City defend themselves, they cannot say that these alleged offences took place too long ago, as they did with the UEFA CAF's trial. You're looking for a legal loophole and not the truth. Again, where's the glory in that? You're being more City fan here than solicitor, and we've got to stop with the tribalism and honourably search for the truth, as you're not on the clock. Apart from that, City's argument seems to be about it being unfair and how clubs should be allowed to spend their own money. That's an opinion that some will agree with and some won't, and we can accept that. However, it still misses the point that you've cheated under the existing rules, and the previous statement can't be used to justify what you've done. Cheating is cheating. And your disreputable victories are another football club's undeserving swindled loss. In American sports, in the NFL, as part of the rules, each team has a salary cap which is revised every year. The cap places a limit on how much each team can pay their players in any given season. The salary cap for the current season stands at $224 million. That's $16.6 million on the previous season, and is currently expected to rise to $240 million in 2024. Now, if teams go over the salary cap, the penalties that could be enforced for violating or circumventing the salary cap include $5 million fines for each violation, cancellation of player contracts, and also a possibility there could be a loss of draft picks. You see, unlike the Premier League, all the NFL clubs are owned by billionaires with an average net worth of $8.5 billion. So for them, money is no object. However, they've catered for that with the latter two punishments. British football, come on, you didn't think because of the comparison I would go so far as to start calling it soccer. Works in a different way, but the principle is similar. However, unlike the NFL, you can expand your own club's cap/stroke income in relation to bringing in genuine revenue. This is great, and more power to your club. However, understand, if you're like the majority of City fans and think that your club should be able to spend what it's worth, then have a think about this. If your owners sell up and leave, there's a massive possibility that you'll go out of business altogether because you're not genuinely self-sustainable. Think about the entire food chain. The spirit of sport reflects in the values we find in and throughout sport. These include ethics, fair play, and honesty. So, is going through the court looking for loopholes ethical, fair, and honest? This is hollow and shallow, and I think that genuine football fans or non-Manchester City fans, we don't and never will truly recognise any of City's past achievements, even though we will marvel in the football being played. I'll say it again, where's the glory in that? Where's the shame? Where's the embarrassment? Where is the regret? Where is the guilt? Cheating has spread into an acceptable byproduct into most Manchester City fans' lives, and has also been partially normalised by a healthy amount of Sky subscribing Premier League fans. You have to get over yourself, because the football pyramid is not just about you, it's about the entire football ecosystem. Remember, The real City fans, not too long ago, you were in decline and fallen on hard times. This culminated in you languishing in the third tier of English football. The teams you were with then, they're the reason why we have a sustainability model today. So, what's my opinion? Or should I say verdict? They're guilty. No matter if the English government get involved to help them find another loophole or to delay proceedings even further. If, as they so claim, and I quote, they have a comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence pointing to them doing nothing wrong, then where is it? You've had 5 to 10 years to release this evidence. You don't need the football governing bodies to do so. In terms of multimedia, social media propaganda, communication, or should we say false narrative, Manchester City are world champions. So that makes the production in relation to the irrefutable evidence even more baffling. Surely releasing this would have stopped the entire planet from pointing the finger and took the pressure off. It would have also put a halt to the cringeworthy pleas of your manager stating the club's strong arm, unproven, fabricated innocence. Now I could go on and on, but enough. This is just my opinion. What's yours? Before I go, I'd like you to take a look at this.
I'm a Scunthorpe United supporter. We play in National League North. We have played as high as the Championship in the past, but over the last 5 years we've had a few dodgy owners that have got the club into masses of debt. We have got the club on a better footing now. We've got some local people, some fantastic people. We've managed to get the club registered as a community asset thanks to a lot of hard work from people. But unfortunately, those bad owners that we had in the past in Dave Hilton and the other guy that shall not be named, who devastated our club. Now the club has Scunthorpe United have got a club lottery going now. It's £10 a month for a draw, and you can win up to £250 as a prize. But obviously, the more money that goes into the lottery, the better the prizes are. What I'm asking the Liverpool supporters to do, and any Premiership football club supporters and their clubs, how nice would it be for your club if you were seen to be doing the right thing, showing the FA the way how to help clubs that are struggling. And if every fan just had one go on our club lottery, say 10,000 fans had a go on our club lottery, that would take a big chunk off our debt and gives you a chance of winning some money. It's not like you're just handing the £10 over. It's like having a little flutter, I would say, but you'd be helping a football club that really needs that financial help. So that's what I'm asking and begging, and I've got to say, I'm passionately a Scunthorpe fan. I have been since I was 7 years old. But had I been born in Liverpool, can I just say, I would have been a Liverpool fan because I love what the club stands for and its success. And let's not forget, Scunthorpe United sold you Kevin Keegan back in the 70s. He went on to help make Liverpool a great club. So please, please, all you Liverpool supporters out there, please think of Scunthorpe United. Go on to Scunthorpe United's website, have a look at the link to the club lottery, and please have a £10 flutter on Scunthorpe United. You'll be doing a great help to a great little club that wants to get back to the Football League where it should be, and hopefully playing you one day. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
That's football solidarity right there. It's above tribalism. This is real fan culture. When football moves so far away from the working class, that's the end of the sport for me. That's my opinion. What's yours? Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Until we meet again, I'm Man in the Spare Room.